Hi guys, and welcome to day 2, one of the most exciting yet also scary days probably, because this is where your goals become real. So yesterday we got really clear with what we want in the next 10 years. We dived deep into the details of what we want our life to look like, feel like, and be like in 10 years' time. So now you should have clarity on what you want in life. Now let's turn your dreams into goals so that we can turn them into reality. Because you can create your future, and in today's session we're going to be doing exactly that. So what I want you to do is get out your document that you wrote on your computer, or get your pen and paper out where you wrote down your 10-year vision from yesterday's training, and just have a look at what you wrote. Do you see any patterns with what you wrote down? Did you keep bringing up the same thing over and over again, or you wrote specifically about one area of your life more so than others? It should become really clear to you now with what you want in life based on what you wrote yesterday. Maybe it's your health, maybe it's your finances, maybe you want to improve your relationship with your partner dramatically. Maybe you want to excel in your career and turn over $1 billion. Whatever it may be, it doesn't matter. I want you to choose the 2 most important things based on what you wrote yesterday. So what 2 areas based on what you wrote are the most important to you right now in your life? All areas of your life are important, but the reason I'm telling you to just choose 2 is because the more focused you are on your goals, the more likely you are to follow through with them. If your focus is all over the place, meaning you have too many goals or too many focuses in life, it will be very, very hard to follow through. I believe in setting big goals. And what you will find is when you set a big goal, you will have to go out of your comfort zone. You will have to improve in many ways in order to achieve your goal. And this way, you are naturally improving other areas of your life as well to achieve the one goal. I'll give you an example. Let's say you have a health goal of running a marathon. You might think it is simply a run that you need to achieve. But if you have never ran a marathon before, you'll know it takes a lot more than just practicing running. You have to implement so many healthy habits into your life in order to get to that result. You have to really improve your sleep, you have to improve on what you're eating, your training style. Often people will stop drinking when they're training for a marathon or some sort of big sporting competition, and therefore you save money because you're not able to go out as much, and then you start hanging out with different people that are more interested in what you're in, and then you meet more like-minded people, which makes you feel better. All of these things happen from having one goal. You've improved your health, your finances, your personal life, your friendships, your relationships, all because you're focusing so much on your health and well-being in order to perform a marathon, which is extremely difficult for many people. So what once was one big goal has suddenly improved multiple areas of your life. And this is why it's okay to just have 2 big goals in your life. More focus equals more power. So look at your 10-year vision and pick 2 categories of your life and create 2 goals based on what you wrote yesterday. Here are some tips for creating a powerful and effective goal. Firstly, your goal needs to be specific. I'll give you an example of why this is so important. Let's say your goal is, I want more money. Well, here's $1. There you go. Now you have more money. I bet when you wrote that goal of wanting more money, you had a lot more than $1 on your mind. But this is the power of being specific. If you're not specific, you're not really asking for some sort of specific outcome, right? So you'll just get whatever. Whereas when you're very specific with how much money you want, you have a target to go towards. Some questions for you to answer to make sure that your goal is specific are the following. Who is involved in this goal? What result are you after? Where is the goal? When do I want to achieve this goal? And why do I want this goal? So by using the who, what, when, where, and why, this makes your goal very specific. Your goals need to be measurable. You can't manage what you don't measure. If there's no way to measure your goal, you won't know whether you're moving towards it or not. You need to know whether you're making progress towards a goal or not, so you can change your approach if you're not. For example, let's say you have $0 in your bank account right now, and your goal is to save $1,000. You can measure this by asking yourself the following questions. Am I moving towards $1,000 or am I going away from $1,000? And if you have a period of 30 days that you would like to save this $1,000, you can track based on the milestones that you've set whether you're actually reaching the milestones or not. This is why it is so important to measure your goal. Here are some questions you can answer to make sure that your goal is measurable. How much or how many of whatever the goal is? How do I know if I've reached my goal? What is the last thing I need to see to know that I have achieved my goal? And finally, what is my indicator of progress? Your goals need to be achievable. The achievability of your goal needs to be far enough that it will challenge you, but also not too far that it's impossible and you'll burn out and give up. It needs to be big so that you grow, but it also needs to be realistic so that you know you can follow through. Some questions you can answer to make sure that your goal is achievable are the following. Do I have the capabilities to achieve this goal? If not, what is missing? Have others done this successfully before? Is the goal within my reach with the time frame I have given it? Am I able to commit to achieving the goal? Your goals need to be relevant. It is really important that your goals are relevant because sometimes we get caught up with what other people are doing or what we should be doing, and it all sounds and looks amazing, but is it really relevant to your life? Do you really want this goal? Because setting big goals like this take a lot of time and energy, and time and energy are our most important resources in life. So you want to use them wisely. So make sure that the goal you're setting is really relevant to your life, because if it's not, you won't commit to it and you won't enjoy the process either. Some questions you can ask yourself to make sure that your goal is relevant are the following. Will this have a big positive impact in my life? Does this seem worthwhile? Is this the right time? And do I really want this? And finally, your goal needs to be time bound. And what I mean by this is that there needs to be a starting date and a finishing date. If there's no end date to your goal, there will be no sense of urgency to achieve it and start moving towards it. A couple of questions you can ask yourself to make sure that your goal is time bound are the following. Does your goal have a deadline? And by when do you want to achieve this goal? So pause this video right now and have a think about what your 2 10-year goals are. Make sure you've answered all the questions I've just said to make sure that your goals are SMART goals. If you can answer all of those questions, you know you have created a goal. I'll see you when you're finished. Right, welcome back. So now you should have your 2 10-year goals. Well done, you should be so proud of yourself. This is really exciting, and this is where it becomes a little scary as well, because now it becomes real. It is really important now that you have created your 2 goals that you write them down. Either print them off or write it down on paper and hang it up somewhere that you can see every single day. These are the 2 most important things in your life that you'll be working towards for the next 10 years. It's important you are reminded by it every single day so that you can intentionally move towards it. Now look at your 2 goals. How do they make you feel? Does it make you nervous, excited, happy, motivated? It's important there's some good emotions there attached to your 2 goals when you read them. They should excite you, as like I just said, they're the most important things that you want in 10 years' time. It is normal for your goals to feel a little uncomfortable and out of reach, as if they weren't, I would suggest that your goals aren't big enough, so they should make you feel a little uncomfortable. So that's completely normal, and don't let that stop you if that's the case. If you're not feeling that your goals are big enough and that you've stretched yourself enough, try and create bigger goals, so they do make you a little uncomfortable. Because remember, in order to grow, we have to step outside of our comfort zone. Most other resources on the internet or YouTube tell you just to set a SMART goal and then you're set. This is what we've just done, but it's not even half of what you need to do in order to really create and execute towards your goals. Setting SMART goals doesn't tell you what to do when you don't feel motivated. Setting SMART goals doesn't help you when you have fears and doubts in the way. Setting SMART goals also doesn't tell you what's wrong when you're not moving towards your goals. So tomorrow on day 3, we'll be going through that plus so much more, so that you have the motivation and the drive and you do take action towards your goals. By the end of day 3, you'll have more pleasure linked to your goals more so than pain, so that you will follow through with your goals. I'll see you then.